Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the virtual Pocono Raceway for tonight's Round 7 of the OP Racing Throwback Series, live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Dawson Wise. I'll be taking you through all of the action in tonight's race as we get you set for Round 7 of the series. Almost the halfway point of this series comes tonight into the Pocono Mountains, the site of our Season 1 championship race, the site of a race last season, third straight season. This track finds itself on the schedule, and it should be a good one here tonight. We have 13 cars off the hollers so far, about 20 seconds to go in the qualifying session, and we will get you trackside for all the pre-race festivities here tonight at the Pocono Raceway as we get set for battle once again on a Thursday night. Thank you so much for coming out with me and joining me here on a Thursday night. I know there's college football on tonight, so a lot of excitement. I have some games on in the background as well. Not in the background where I'm not going to be able to bring you through all the action, but I do have some college football on behind me. So enjoy the first weekend of college football. Again, I'm sure we'll get to talk about that throughout the night as the race goes through its lulls, its valleys, and its peaks. So we'll see if we get a chance to talk about that. But 80 laps on tap tonight here in the Pocono Mountains, and we are ready to get you trackside as we get set to go live from Pocono. Halfway through the season, and last week, boy, it was an interesting one, that's for sure, in terms of the strategy that came into play, in terms of the little bit of track position change that came into play, and in the end of the night, Christian Schrader, welcome back to Throwback Series Victory Lane again, back-to-back wins for the champ, and he is able to get the job done at the Lucas Oil Raceway Park, aka IRP. As now tonight, Pocono on tap for you, and we'll get into the starting grid for tonight's race from the Pocono Mountains. On the pole here tonight in Pocono, round 7 of the OP Racing Throwback Series, it's going to be Trey Galgan back from a one-week break. And this last weekend, he's back tonight at Pocono. He'll start from the pole position to his outside. It'll be the 6. Misfits Motorsports, it'll be the brand new look, I believe, a black, gold, and white number 6 aboard Matt Payton's machine tonight. We'll roll from the inside on the front row. Row 2, Jordan Anderson coming off the Chevrolet. We'll roll from position 3. Brian Elmore in his inside spot. Row 3, Chris Weaver in the 88 machine. We'll roll from 5th. Kevin Duker, welcome back. We'll roll from 6th and 34th. Silver Bullet. Row 4, TJ Spinauer in the 910. Roll from alongside Dave Weaver in the 16. Row 5, the champ, Christian Schrader, the first one, not taking time tonight qualifying. He'll roll from 9th to Isaiah Dupree, while the second championship continues to his outside. Row 6, Cody Alford in the 4 machine will roll from the left position. Will roll from 12th. Final car in the field turn, Doug Johnson. Right field for you here tonight. We saw last week, over the course of the very long race, over the course of last week's race, that a light field by far does not mean no racing action. I mean, Matt Aiden, Christian Schrader, Hunter Carlson, a couple others, Cody Eldridge, Rusty Modesty, all shared battles throughout the week last week. They proved to make that race very interesting. Strategy became a major question at the end. I think a lot of guys think, a lot of guys get out the calculator, and as such, on tap tonight in the site of our championship race 2 seasons ago, and then of course the site of a race last season as well. Tonight we'll feature 80 more laps of action as we enter the middle portions of the season, and that means the championship contenders are now in one of the most crucial parts of the season, maintaining momentum, getting yourself set up so when we get the home stretch here, we'll win the spot to win that full season championship. Several guys in the hunt coming into tonight. Christian Schrader, one of those guys that's in the hunt. Rusty Modesty as well. Matt Hayden, Trey Galvin, a couple of others in the hunt for the championship battle. Isaiah Dupree also, but notably Dupree and Johnson not able to make the grid. I believe Dupree is going to pit start tonight in the 86. Isaiah Dupree will pit start. for the first time tonight, and down to the front stretch here. The Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're racing at Pocono. Lap 1 on the board and complete up and down at Pocono Raceway in a battle for the race lead. Matt Hayden, Trey Galgan side by side for the lead. Hayden gets the spot, drives past the 49, crossover. Galgan top to bottom, back to the left rear quarter panel. Battle for the lead again off turn number 1 and off the banking on the long pond straightaway. Hayden top side and Galgan on the bottom. Man on the move right now, Christian Strader, Cody Eldred, Rusty Modesty, all +3 so far in the race. Off into turn 2, Galgan flips back over, he'll get the spot. Hayden crosses over once again, and in a pattern similar to that championship race from 2 seasons ago, the racing early on in this one is frantic among the top 2. Jordan Anderson starting to close that gap up as well. Hayden uses that nice drive off turn 3 to get right back up to the back bumper of Trey Galgan. Weaver and Anderson watch on from 3rd and 4th. Can they do anything with the leaders here? Strader already up to 6th and charging hard. What can he do back there in the 29 machine? Hayden, no look that time, backs up the corner, back to about 2 car lengths difference between himself and Trey Galgan. Will run about a half lane higher. We saw him get really a great lap's worth of exit speed because of his choice of line off turn number 1 and down the long pond straightaway. Battle out back, Christian Strader looking for 5th as Hayden continues to hound Trey Galgan for the lead. Strader easily to 5th place, and he is on the move already. Hayden falls about 3 car lengths back off the bumper of Galgan, who now leads here in 3 and onto the flat. Very long, very wide turn 3. You can get a lot of momentum with your drive off this corner. Matt Hayden's done it a couple times already tonight. Jordan Anderson is hanging around, as is Weaver, as is Strader a little bit further back. Notably, Isaiah Dupree has yet to start tonight's race. He sits on the pit road, and that's where he continues to stay on lap 4. Down the long pond straightaway again, car length and a half, maybe 2 from leader to 2nd. Anderson, Weaver start to fall off the pace a bit. Strader holding tough, about a 1.5 seconds back of the leaders right now. As these 2 cars so far work away from the field just a tad. As they try to make it work and get away from the field. Galgan starting now to drive away from Hayden just a little bit. Hayden had really good fire-off speed, but since then has not really been able to replicate his first couple of laps. And Galgan has opened up a 3 car length lead on the 6 machine. Out back, Strader hounds now. Weaver and Anderson for 4th and then 3rd. Tunnel turn again, lap 5 already. Strader on the move, and on the move big time. 5th to 4th now in turn 2. He'll look for a nice run through 3 to try to set up on Jordan Anderson here. And if he can get past him, get some clean track focus forward, Christian Strader can absolutely run down the leaders. I think if he gets within eye shot of him, if he can get past Jordan Anderson. Dupree has started the race now, but he's already 5 laps down, so I mean, not much you're going to be able to recover here if this race stays green. Up front, Hayden has a little bit of something here for Galgan again. For a couple laps there, didn't have much. Now pulls back to within a half car length of the 49. Got a nice run off one. Will he take a look? Tunnel turn is very risky. Hayden not able to drive underneath the 49. Instead will back up the tunnel turn and put his focus forward towards turn 3. Got a really nice drive off too. Anderson is trying to hold off Schrader, but we'll keep the focus here for now because Matt Hayden is all over the back bumper of Trey Galgan. Through 3, down onto this long front straightaway again. Anderson holding on to 3rd. Hayden trying to hound on Trey Galgan and make him make a mistake. No mistakes yet for him, though. Deep drive into turn 1 for Galgan. He saw how far he turned it in. Hayden backed it up just like he'd been doing for a few laps now, but it snaps a little bit from underneath him. He's able to maintain control of the car, but Galgan is really, really putting some stress on those front tires, the right side tires, by driving that deep into turn 1. Backs it up a little bit more here for the tunnel turn. But you saw, I mean, just how wicked hard that left turn was going into the corner. I mean, he was yanking the wheel to the left. He drives in deep here again to 3. Hayden has kind of had his number on this end of the racetrack in terms of exit speed and run off. This time, not really. 3 car lengths between the leaders, and Galgan focused his eyes forward again. Look at that, man. He is really turning the car off the wall. Hayden snaps loose again a little bit. And Anderson and Schrader and company are gone. At this point, these two have driven away 2 seconds from those cars. We imagine a similar pace, probably a 3 to 4 stop race for the leaders here tonight. Oh, Hayden smacks the outside wall and will lose time like a rock. And now Galgan can set sail just a little bit and take a breath. Galgan forward to the lead. Now, will he have the long run speed? Only 8 laps into this one. Will he have long run speed to contend with the cars running behind him? We'll have to wait and see. Schrader continues to hound Jordan Anderson. That will be for the 3rd position. Next time by, we'll go through kind of a speed chart of how fast you're going down the front stretch because they've got them really wound up so far. Oh boy, Anderson, Schrader both close to the wall right there. You'll see them flash by 1, 2, and then our battle for 3rd that we're watching right now. Schrader, does he take a look in the tunnel turn? Thinks better of it. Backs up. And we'll take a look down here on the other end of the speedway in turn 3, that flat, wide turn 3. Cloud cover down above turn 3. Did not mention the weather here tonight. And the track temperature, well, that's in Celsius, obviously. Maybe it's not. 89 degrees Fahrenheit on the racetrack. Or excuse me. Yeah, 69 degrees in the air, 89 on the racetrack. So really not a hot track. I was looking at the wrong column. Schrader for 3rd. Anderson gives it up relatively easily, and Schrader's on by. And now we'll try to run down Matt Hayden. Woo. Bit loose there for Schrader. Galgan continues to drive away. The other man currently wrenching his way through the field is Rusty Modesty +6 already. And he's got some speed underneath the Dude White Chevrolet tonight. He runs down Chris Weaver for 5th. Attempts to make a pass. Man, really deep cloud cover over this side of the speedway. It is really dark over there in turn 3. In fact, dark over most of the racetrack right now. Cloud cover has enveloped Pocono Raceway, and good battle back behind these guys. Kevin Gunther, TJ Spainhour. Spainhour holding tough big time on the outside. Will maintain the 8th position. About to be a battle here for the 4th spot. Weaver and Anderson, and now Modesty going to split through the middle. And he does go through the middle. Huge move there by Rusty Modesty. As he slides up, drives off 3. Does he have the bite to get all the way on the front stretch? He does now. Let's go to a dashboard look for Rusty Modesty. See how fast he's going by the time he enters this deep turn 1. 197 miles an hour for Modesty by the time he gets to the end of that long front straightaway. A testament to how fast these guys are going. So Modesty to 4th. He's +8. Schrader is +6. Battles, for the most part, are over on the racetrack right now, as Galgan leads the way and does so pretty dominantly. Trouble out back for TJ Spainhour. While we're in a bit of a green flag lull, we're actually going to go back and take a live look replay. What happened here back here to TJ Spainhour, and washing up. I don't like that turn-in angle, and car does not bite. Understeers just a little bit, and he smacks the wall, similarly to Matt Hayden earlier. Spainhour does the same thing right there. Now let's try to labor around with damage. 13 up and down here at Pocono Raceway. As Trey Galgan leads by 1.5 seconds over Hayden, 3 seconds over Strader, and 5+ over the rest of the field. Excuse me. So Galgan continues to lead the way, and now opens up a large lead. And now is the point of the race where, if you are a Matt Hayden, a Christian Strader, or Rusty Modesty, if you're really anybody, you see now the pace that Trey Galgan possesses. So when we get to this first cycle of green flag pit stops, you start to think, okay, we see now the pace that he can carry. Undercut him on pit road, try to gain some time. We saw that over the last few weeks that's been extremely effective in making sure that you get 5-6 seconds ahead of the guy in front of you. You can really flip track position on its head, even with just a couple laps early. The new tires are that big a difference in these cars. For reference, Trey Galgan's best lap of the race was a 53.32. Well, so much for the undercut, because he's going to pit. Hayden will follow. Strader will follow. Modesty will follow. A lot of guys on pit road here. TJ Spainhour as well. But 53.44 to a 55.54 for Jordan Anderson, for example, is the fall off on tires in this race. So a pit very early in this one. We're looking at a 5-stop race on this current pace. That's more than we've had, I believe, in the history of this series. Jordan Anderson, Chris Weaver, Brian Elmore, Cody Eldred, Kevin Gunther, and Davey Weaver are the ones still on the racetrack. But I believe they will bring their machines to pit road this time by. They will. Anderson to pit road. Here comes Weaver in behind him. And Trey Galgan opens up a 2.4 second lead on pit road. Pit cycle will be complete. We'll wait and see where these guys cycle out that are ahead of Galgan right now on the racetrack. As Galgan will come by, put lap 17 on the board, 64 to go, or excuse me, 65 to go. This race is going really quickly. Strader, battle for second. Christian Strader, has he figured something out? Hayden top, Strader bottom. Strader gonna be able to clear up. Nope, getting loose, has to save it. And Hayden will get back by him. Strader will tuck in. Battle for second continues. Anderson 5th, Weaver 6th, and on back from there. The top 4 on pit road to begin the cycle have maintained the top 4 spots after the pit cycle. As this battle continues. Galgan away by 2.8 seconds, but they pulled a little bit of the lead back on him. And this battle begins to dissipate just a little bit as Hayden drives away. Well, I said we would talk about some college football as Chris Weaver's on pit road again here for a second time. Caution flag right as we were going to do that. And who's this one for? I'm not sure. We'll go back to the moment of caution. Davey Weaver, maybe? Isaiah Dupree? No. Oh, it's TJ Spainhour. What happened to the 910? Oh boy, what happened here? He's already slow. Something's already severely wrong. He's crab walking all the way down the front stretch. What in the world happened here? Well, trying to find the origin. Well, he comes off pit road. Let's see if we can find the origin here. It's a fuel issue is what we're being told. Let's see. So, I thought it was something, because it looked to me like his wheel was off a little bit, his right front tire, and maybe it just became undrivable, but still going here. All the way to turn 3, and then now when he gets to the exit of turn 1, it's kind of when we notice some issues. Oh. Yeah, there goes the engine power here. It's sputtering. Sputter. Sputter. Wow. They didn't get all the fuel in that car. And there was no way he was going to be able to roll it back all the way to pit road. So he just brings it to a stop down here on the exit of turn number 2. Here, it's completely almost out of power. Brings it to a stop. So tough break for Spainhour, who runs out of gas inadvertently. Let's say that again as probably a technical issue more than it was a driver error. So a technical issue for that machine, and unfortunately for him, that's going to really put a damper on his night. Puts him a couple laps down. Isaiah Dupree is also still 2 laps down, but he did get one of them back. So Dupree trying to get back in it. Chris Weaver also a lap down. Doug Johnson never did take the green flag in tonight's race, so he'll be credited with 13th position. Under this caution, lap 19. And it is Brian Elmore that leads the way in the 39. Cody Eldred, Christian Schrader, Trey Galgan, Matt Hayden, rest of your top 5. Elmore, Eldred stay out. Jordan Anderson 6th, Davey Weaver 7th, Rusty Modesty 8th, Kevin Gunther in 9th. Last car on the lead lap. Weaver is 1 lap down. Spainhour is 2 laps down. Dupree about to go 3 laps down unless he gets off pit road. which he will not. Oh, maybe he will. Lights out atop the iRacing.com pace truck, and we will get the green flag next time by on lap 21 and even 60 laps to go. And that means 4 pit stops still remaining for these drivers. So here we go, lap 21, 60 laps remain in this one from Pocono, and got off to a very cracking start, a battle between Galgan and Hayden. Since then, it's kind of cooled off just a little bit, but now we'll have a restart. Trey Galgan needs a great run tonight, even better than a good run, to get himself back in the championship battle. Any points / bonus points as he can get would be helpful to the driver of the 49 tonight. But now he'll have to contend with a restart with 2 guys on the front row that did not come take tires. Brian Elmore, Cody Eldred on the front row, a strategy call on lap 21. How will it pay off? Chris Weaver dives to pit road, and the field back into the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We're racing again from Pocono. Galgan a bump to the back of Eldred. Galgan not incredibly patient. Elmore clear up all the way on Eldred. Will dive into turn 1, and away we go. Galgan through the middle to the outside of Strader. Power move. Does it stick? It does. Now Galgan, Strader battle for second. Eldred is 4th. Hayden is 5th. And Elmore trying to drive away. Will not be able to do so for very long. Galgan to 2nd. Strader to 3rd. And here come those 2 former leaders in a hurry on Brian Elmore. Galgan right at the back bumper, Strader with him. Galgan looking to make quick work of Elmore here in turn 3. He'll set him up. He'll take a look to the inside for the lead in 3. Galgan bottom side, Elmore top side, Strader. Does he think about 3 wide? Not in turn 3. He will try to get second on Elmore here into 1, but Galgan cycles back and retakes the lead. Strader deep drive into 1. He'll get second. Hayden will get 4th from Eldred. Modesty trying to come forward to 5th. He'll push his teammate. Strader tries to run down Trey Galgan. .57 laps to go at the line. Galgan over Strader, Elmore, Eldred, and Modesty. Hayden made a mistake, drops all the way to 6th, now 7th. Matt Hayden problems on the 6. Strader able to hold tough here with the leader, Trey Galgan. Strader learned something apparently in this first 25 laps. The defending champ has some speed. Through 2, heated battle for the lead is continuing. But not for long. Caution flag. Oh, trouble. Davey Weaver. Goes for a slide. Behind Matt Hayden. And yep, there it is. Oh, bites right in front of Isaiah Dupree. And Weaver comes to a stop on the exit of the corner. By the time he even turns in the corner, he's already loose. You see that car is already out of whack. And it's just going to get more so the further they go in the corner. And Dupree's going to get into him. Tough break for Weaver, but you saw it was already sliding loose. This car, again, it's so sensitive. You don't set it down on the banking, it's going to kick out. A lot of horsepower, a lot of rear drive, and as such, it's hard to keep it underneath you, especially on a track like Pocono. And considering they called turn 2 the tunnel turn for a reason. The tunnel under the racetrack runs right under the speedway, and I'm telling you, it exists on iRacing. It 100% is there. It 100% kills you every single time. So for Davey Weaver, I think he's going to go in. He's going to try to turn in the corner, and then he's already loose. I think he can drive out of it. He's starting to drive out of it right here, and then he hits the tunnel. And when he hits that tunnel in that second lane, it really kicks that car out of whack. Still actually going straight. Now the car's starting to get out of whack. Now it's really out of shape. And again, he's trying to drive out of it, He's got a decent look at it, and then it bites. Just like last week at IRP where I talked about just that bite back to the right. Well, it does it right there. And Isaiah Dupree, nothing he can do in terms of not colliding with that car. Tough break for both cars. Just one of those things that happens in a tricky car at a tricky racetrack. Back up front, Matt Hayden stays out on the speedway. Everybody else in pit road. So Hayden will re-inherit the lead. Off the pit lane. As 26 laps are on the board so far in this one from Pocono. Well, as I was saying before, the battle for the lead happened, and then the caution happened earlier, and then the battle for the lead, and then another caution. College football underway really last weekend in week 0, but for most teams underway this weekend in week number 1, and some notable games tonight. A couple score updates for those of you keeping up with college football. At the half in Boulder, it is North Dakota State 20, Colorado 17. An interesting one so far for the Buffs. They trail at home to the FCS North Dakota State Bison. In Raleigh, Western Carolina Catamounts 14, the 24th ranked NC State Wolfpack 17. That game's in the third quarter. So NC State struggling just a little. Wake Forest leads NCA&T 38-10. That game's at the end of the third. Missouri leads Murray State 35-0 at the half in Columbia. Kansas leads Lindenwood. That's the 22nd ranked Jayhawks lead Lindenwood 34-0 at the half. North Carolina and Minnesota got going a little bit late tonight. They're almost to the end of the first quarter. 0-0 there. And then end of one in Utah. It is the Utes 7, Southern Utah 0. A game already gone. Final from the primary games today. Rutgers 44, Howard 7. So an early slate of college football tonight. UCF leads New Hampshire. It's another notable game tonight. Arkansas leads Arkansas Pine Bluff. That game's 55-0. Coastal Carolina leads Jacksonville State 31-10 at the half. Tulane leads Southeast Louisiana 21-0 at the half. And Illinois and Eastern Illinois just getting underway in Champaign. Nightcap tonight, Sacramento State and San Jose State. Tomorrow night, some more games on tap for you. The 16th ranked Oklahoma Sooners take on Temple. Duke takes on Elon. Army takes on Lehigh. Michigan State takes on FAU, and Stanford takes on TCU in what could be a sneaky good game this week. And then a big slate on Saturday that we'll get into a little bit later on in tonight's race. But before that, business to attend to. Lap 28 on the board, 53 laps to go, and we take the green. We are 13 laps short of the halfway point, and now you're looking at a 3-stop race for these drivers under green. Matt Hayden stayed out. Brian Elmore won the race off pit road, and from there it was chalk all the way back. And here we go once again from Pocono, ready to get this one back underway. We will do just that on lap 28. Pace cars downfield into the restart zone in the hands of Matt Hayden. Green flag back in the air, and it's an incredible start for the 6 car. He is off and running into turn 1. Galgan has to settle for 3rd, and Hayden now trying to use this opportunity with Galgan pinned to maybe make up some time and drive away just a tad. Matt Hayden trying to hold off Galgan, but it won't be long. He's going to make very quick work of Brian Elmore, and Christian Schrader will come with him as well. And Galgan already to second, by far the fastest car in the field. I think Schrader might have something for him. But it's those 2 cars really so far that have been the class of the field, and Galgan is already out from behind Brian Elmore. Into 3. 28 on the board, 52 to go when they come back around. 12 laps to go until halfway. Hayden leads by 0.6 of a second over Galgan. Schrader's already by for 3rd. Modesty is by now for 4th. As Hayden enters turn 1 once again. Down through the tunnel turn, Hayden by 0.5 of a second, half a second even now, and only just under a second on Christian Schrader. And then a second and 0.3 on Rusty Modesty. Isaiah Dupree still 2 laps down. TJ Spainhour 2 laps down. Davey Weaver has called it a night here on lap 25. As we hit lap 30, he will be credited tonight with the 12th running position. 30 on the board next time by 50 laps to go. Already closing in on halfway in this one. This one going by in a hurry here. Oh, man, Dupree, Kevin Gunther, they're scrambling a little bit in the back, but everybody got by it okay. Galgan within 0.3, chasing down Matt Hayden. Schrader chasing down both cars. However long Galgan takes with Hayden to get past him, it's going to allow Schrader into this battle. What a drive through the center of the corner by Galgan, but it begs the question, how much is the 6 car saving, perhaps compared to the 49? Is Galgan running a little bit harder on his tires right now just to try to get back to the lead? Hayden a bit of a block of air, but stays about a half lane higher than Galgan here off turn 1, and Schrader starts to close in. Modesty as well. Galgan is going to have to make this quick. Peaks into 2, nothing there. Will he get a dive into 3? We've seen him do this already tonight where he really drives it hard into 3. He will do so underneath the 6 car. Galgan through the center of the corner gets the lead. Schrader smacks the outside wall of the exit of turn 3. He'll lose some time. As Hayden tries to regroup, it's just not going to happen. Trey Galgan is fast tonight. He is really, really quick. He continues to lead the way. 48 to go. 3 pit stops still remain for these drivers based on current fuel calculations. So an opportunity later to undercut, perhaps. Now, really, the window opens this time. The window already opened. Yeah, it already opened. The window would have opened back around, I want to say, we went green with like 55 to go. The window would have opened right about that lap. So you can undercut now if you want to, if you're those guys behind Galgan that realize there's just not much opportunity here for you to win the race. Without a strategy call, well, you can do that. Anytime between now and when you're scheduled to come in, about lap 40 is what I anticipate right now. Excuse me. No, I was completely wrong. The window of 14 laps opens I think lap 38. Yeah, 38, 52, 66. So about lap 38. Schrader on by for second trouble out back. Jordan Anderson gets turned, and he's going to draw the caution flag. He gets it back going, but the caution flag had already come out. And completely scratched that. As now that strategy will change once again. I don't know if he got turned or if he just spun it himself. And he just spins out himself on the exit of turn 1. Ooh, noses into the inside wall and comes to a sliding stop. See him slide out of shape. Locks it down, but that doesn't do too much. And he gets the inside retaining wall. Again, from this angle, you'll be able to see the car snap loose from under in here. Right there, there it goes. And away goes the 10. And noses into the inside wall. He'll come to pit road, as will the field. Lap 35 on the board. Well, this race got off to a really quick start. Since then, kind of laden with cautions. And pace has considerably slowed down. So let's see if the field comes to pit road right here on lap 35. I imagine they will. No reason not to. No limit on tires, and they will all come to pit road this time by. Dupree's going to be back to only 1 lap down. Impressive work from Isaiah Dupree to get the lucky dog, and now back within range of potentially being back in this race. He was 5 laps down at one point, now all the way back to 1, and still 45 laps to go to get that second lap back. We'll watch the race off pit road. Off the jack, Galgan first, Schrader second, Modesty third, Hayden fourth, and Eldred fifth, and Elmore, Weaver, and Spain out. We are going to hit our first commercial break of the night here on lap 36. Stay with us. You're watching the Turn 3 Racing Network's coverage of the OP Racing Throwback Series. We'll be right back for more racing action from Pocono.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to Pocono Raceway, where the field has doubled up behind the iRacing.com pace truck. As pit stops are complete. Trey Galligan is your race leader. Christian Schrader is second. Row 2, a pair of teammates, Rusty Modesty and Matt Hayden. Row 3, Cody Eldred and Brian Elmore. Row 4, Kevin Gunther and Chris Weaver. And a few cars off the pace. Isaiah Dupree is 1 lap down. TJ Spainhour is 2 laps down. And Jordan Anderson becomes our second car to call it a night here on lap 37. He'll be credited with the 11th running position tonight. At least 10 cars on the racetrack for the last 43 laps of this one. And we'll get underway in just a moment. So here we go. Galligan, Schrader. Galligan's been the class of the field all night. And for another good restart here, and to start to put this one a little bit out of reach. As now we're bordering right on 2 pit stops. You're still about a lap short. We'll see how far these guys can stretch the fuel tank here. Maybe make this a fuel mileage race. Green flag back in the air. Galligan off to the races by 2 car lengths. Modesty Schrader will battle for second. Hayden and Eldred will battle for fourth. And on the banking in 1. Schrader way up the hill. Modesty trying to slide on his nose. Not going to happen. Schrader drives right back around him. Trouble out back, I think. One car got majorly out of shape. It was Brian Elmore, and he's able to keep it going, but he's way off the pace now. In the 8th position. All chalk up front right now. Galligan, Schrader, Hayden, Modesty, Eldred, as the running order has been most of the night. And we are 3 laps short of halfway. Actually, 2 laps short of halfway now. $39 on the board, 52 to go, or 42 to go, excuse me. As we are already halfway into this one. From Pocono. Now we'll see if we can get into a bit of a lull. Only 10 cars on the racetrack. 8 on the lead lap. Isaiah Dupree trying to hope for a caution to get back on the lead lap. Galgan by 0.3 of a second over Strader. Strader's been the only one to keep tabs on Galgan all night. Right now he's doing so again. As he's within 0.3 of the leader, not letting him get away. Everybody else is second or more back. Man, both these front two cars are loose right now. Halfway home, round 7 of the Throwback Series. As Hayden, Modesty, and Eldred, 3 cars under a blanket for third. But it's Christian Strader who has been able to at least modestly keep tabs with the race leader. The first time really tonight. I mean, he kept tabs with him earlier, but he's been able to pick up just a little bit. Learn a little bit, perhaps, throughout the early stages of this race. And right now, Strader looking awfully good. Trying for 3 straight wins, a feat that has never been accomplished in this series. If I recall correctly, well, no, I beg your pardon. In Season 1, Tyler Bentley won 3 races in a row, 1 time in that entire dominant season. He did it 1 time. So across 2 full seasons, almost 2.5 seasons of this series, that feat has only been accomplished once. And it was way back at the beginning of Season 1 by Tyler Bentley. Strader, 2.5 tenths back of the leader and hounding him now. We've got a battle for the lead on our hands in Pocono with 38 laps to go. We're setting up, before pit stops anyway, for a classic finish potentially here in the Pocono Mountains. Galgan drives back away just a little. Strader not letting him leave. Boy, Strader is really making it tough. He's just close enough that Galgan really has to pay attention to what he does and be that much better every lap. A rare challenge tonight so far. Strader's been up for the task and would not expect any different from the defending series champion than to contend for another win. As close as he has been to Galgan tonight, a car length between our top 2. Make it 2 car lengths now as they race down the short chute into turn 3. Galgan's been really good on turn 3 entry and through the center, but Strader's been so good on exit and down this long front straightaway. And now again, as close as he's been better than Galgan down here on this end of the speedway. Galgan's been better over on the other end of the speedway. He gets such a good drive off turn 1. He's gotten a great drive every time he's gone through turn 1 on this run, and now a car length difference. A very close race here between the two leaders. They pulled away. It's only them, no pressure. Out back for Strader. And he's forcing a little bit of wiggle out of the leader. Galgan wiggles a little bit. Strader wiggles a little bit. Galgan's so good on this end of the racetrack, though. But did he get in too deep that time? Strader gets as close as he's been. Does he have a run at him here? Not quite. Not going to be close enough yet. But he might here if he gets a good enough drive through 1 and 2. If he gets the drive off, he'll be at the back bumper by the time they hit the tunnel turn. Here he is, Christian Strader. He's got a chance. He'll probably save it here for the exit of 3 if he can stay close. He'll drive in right on the back bumper, about as close as we've seen anybody get all night. Both cars get close to the wall. Got to reset, got to drive into 3. He'll maintain momentum. But Galgan, a moment of reprieve, but not a long one. Strader back to him again. Both these cars are out of shape. This is guys at 100% on the edge of control, racing each other for the win in Pocono. Into 1. Galgan better drive in. Strader gets that good drive off. This time he may have the run to dive to the inside. Does he take the look? He's going to push Galgan here down the long pond straightaway. And we'll save it for the better passing zone down here into turn 3. Turn 3 and on to turn 3 exit is a really good passing zone to build momentum and then pass into 1. And he's been so good on exit right here on turn 3. Can he do it this time? Here he comes. Big arcing drive off turn 3. Strader. This time he might be close enough. Quarter car length. Back to the back bumper. Does he lunge here into 1? A lean. A thought. But he holds back. Chess at 195 miles an hour. Strader. Galgan. Dueling once again. How many times have these two been bumper to bumper in a race like this? Another classic unfolding before our very eyes tonight. Strader, he's trying to find the right moment. He can't so far. Now he differs here in the tunnel turn. He's going to try to drive high to low and lunge maybe into 3. He'll get a look for the lead. Christian Strader to the inside. He'll drive in deep. Galgan will have the advantage of being on the top side of the racetrack. They're going to come together. They almost come together in the middle of turn 3. And that would have been disaster for both cars. And Galgan opens up a lead. Strader threw a lunge. It did not work. DJ Spainhour coming to pit road out back. And Strader has to reset. But immediately starts to close the gap back up again. Holy cow, was that close in turn 3. I mean, both those cars about wrecked. They should have been wrecked. Back to a car length and a half. Here comes that big arc off turn 3. Man, that car is so good on corner exit right now. Again, a car length between the two leaders. Lap 50 on the board. A pit stop is approaching quickly. The window opens in 2 laps. I expect them to pit. Actually, really in the next one. This is probably getting close to a pit lap potentially for these cars. Good drive off turn 1. Down the long pond straightaway. Eldred fading further back. Weaver, Elmore on pit road, and that means the pit cycle is open. Who blinks first between the two leaders? Good drive off here for Strader again. He will not be close enough to get a lunge. Instead, goes way to the top side of the speedway. Does Galgan look for pit road? No. That was maybe a little bit too high for Strader there. He lost more than he gained. He'll have to go at it again. Back to the back bumper. Again tucked up underneath the 49 machine. And again they'll play chess into turn 1. Schrader backed up the corner. He's going to get a nice drive off. Both cars. Oh, Schrader got mightily close to the wall. So did Galgan. Did they both get it right there? They may have both gotten the wall. Tunnel turn. Still, Galgan first, Schrader second. Really incredible stuff by these two cars right now. Through 3. Did either of these guys pit? Another good drive through the corner. Galgan's starting to woe down. Galgan's coming. Schrader's going to match him. Do they get clean on pit road? Galgan's awfully quick. Both lock up on the pit entry line. Will either be caught for a penalty. Down to their pit boxes they come. Every one of the leaders is on pit road this time by. Schrader on the bumper of Galgan. Now did either incur a speeding penalty coming to pit road? Both into their boxes. Both on the jack. And now we await. Did either of them incur a penalty? Schrader gone. Galgan off the jack. He's gone as well. And they're going to be side by side. They're going to have to figure it out. Galgan will use the first pit stall to his advantage, but they're bumper to bumper and one for the lead already. They got to try to make it to lap 66, really the end of 66. If not, this becomes a fuel mileage race. Here we go again. Schrader and Galgan battle it out once again for the lead in Pocono. Schrader, big drive through 2. He'll lunge right to the inside, wasting no time on this run. He'll dive to the inside. He'll have a much better run this time. Galgan squeezes him. Almost some contact. Galgan, can he hold it to his outside? It's going to be close. He will. Just barely. Oh, man. Schrader can taste it. Taste being clear. But Galgan hangs tough. Going to run Schrader down. Schrader's entry going to be a lot shallower here in a 1. If he gets that big drive through the center, he might just clear him. But Galgan pinches him to the yellow line. And Schrader once again has to pull off and get in behind. Nice defense by Galgan. This is riveting. Outstanding stuff by these two leaders. Hayden not out of the picture if these two rough it up for the lead. Schrader, oh, this is a great drive. This is one of his best ones yet. He gets a little bit loose, though. And has to, unfortunately, settle for the fact that he's going to stay behind the 49. But these two have been nose to tail for the last 25 laps. Incredible. Galgan has the advantage of being better on newer tires. Schrader, I think, was markedly better on the end of that run. So if the tires, as they start to get old again, Schrader, I imagine, will be the better car, but he might be the better car now. And what an evolution of a race. Galgan was head and shoulders above the field in the beginning segment of this race. Schrader goes to the fence. Well, I don't think that's going to work. But he did get a really nice run. Hang on a minute. Christian Schrader lunge for the lead. Side by side, same story, different chapter. Galgan will run him down to the yellow. Schrader gets a better run through the center of the corner this time and gets loose and has to back out of it. He has just not cracked the code yet of how to get through turn 1 without slipping and sliding. Now drops a couple car lengths. Does he go to the fence again? Yes, he does. And this time, Galgan opens up more of a lead. Drove it a little harder, perhaps, to the middle of the corner. I wonder if Galgan was trying to save gas, because if I'm Matt Hayden right now, I'm clutching the car in the center of the corner because I'm not sure either of these guys are going to be able to make it. You got to make it to the tail end of 66. We've been seeing about 14 laps is the distance. 67 is 14 laps to go. You got to get all the way around on lap 80. You're a lap at least short, maybe a lap and a half. If I'm Hayden, Modesty, Weaver, and company, I'm saving gas here. Strader a little bit lower that time, trying to lose a little bit less ground in the corner. Still get that big arcing drive off turn 3. He'll get it again. And right back to the back bumper. Non-stop pressure. Does he lunge? No, learned his lesson. Gonna go the opposite way. Gonna bounce up the racetrack. And try to maybe drive up and underneath the 49 here. Drives it off the wall. No lunge at the tunnel turn, though. He's trying something different. He will lunge. Ooh, I thought he was going to take it there. That's probably a good idea not to. Tunnel turn, both guys back on the throttle quickly. Galgan a little bit quicker to the trigger there than Schrader was. And Schrader will look back to the outside of turn 3. Here comes Schrader again, trying to lunge back at the 49, all over the back bumper right now and making him work. 23 laps remain in the Pocono Mountains. Galgan by half a car length over Christian Schrader. Matt Hayden waiting in the wings in case either of these guys makes a mistake or butchers their fuel strategy. This is outstanding. Some of the best racing for the lead since last season taking place right now at Pocono. Galgan and Schrader dueling, two of the best in the business in this series, going toe-to-toe at one of the toughest tracks on the circuit. Comes another one of those big arcing exit drives off Christian Schrader here. And Galgan this time has some room to breathe. Not a ton, but he does have more room than last time. Oh, now he rolls up the racetrack. He may have butchered his entry there a little bit. He did. Galgan misses his entry, has to chase the car, a groove up the racetrack, and now Schrader's right back to his bumper again. To the tunnel turn. Schrader a lane higher. Right over that tunnel. The car gets really loose and had to back out of it. Now Galgan begins to drive away. Just a little. They got to make it another 7 laps. No, 6. Excuse me. Another 6 laps. And they'll be good to make it on just this last stop if they cannot make it to the conclusion. Of lap 66. And they're going to have to either pit again or really save some gas on that last run. Trey Galgan may have run Christian Schrader out of willpower. Galgan starts to set sail. 20 to go at Pocono, 3/4 of the way into this one. And Galgan now starts to fade a little bit further into the horizon of the 29 car. Now, the question becomes, is that because of pace or tires, or is that because of fuel strategy? Schrader may be backing up the corner, trying to save a little bit on entry. Got to make it 5 more laps. Galgan away by half a second. And the action fades for a moment. But again, kind of the interesting part of this race earlier is that I thought Strader got better when the run got longer. And the last 5 laps of the run earlier, I thought Strader was a much better car. And you see that's the case again in this run. Again, I'm not sure it matters unless these guys make it another 4 laps. If they come in 3, it's going to be really close. Three-tenths of a second between the two leaders. Hayden almost 5 seconds back. I wonder if these guys behind these two are fuel saving a little bit. Strader to within 2/10 again, so hold that thought. He'll try to get that wide run off turn 3. He's been so much better at corner exit. Here comes that big drive. And again, he's to the back bumper of Galgan. 17 to go. They got to make it 3 more times before they pit. Right to the back bumper again. Pressure's on for Trey Galgan. Oh, he may have drove too deep again. Here comes Strader right to his back bumper. Does he turn left on corner exit? Nope, not able to. Battle for the lead in Pocono again. Remember, they got to get the next 2 laps before they can even think about being able to make it. I think it's going to be really close. And I think you're a lap short. I mean, based on earlier in the race, I think you're a lap short. If you pit in 2 laps, I think you're a lap short. Excuse me, 1 lap, you're a lap short, I think. If they pit here, they're definitely short. Let's see, off turn 3 again. Neither guy leans for pit road. Hayden 5 seconds back. Wonder if he's been fuel saving a little bit. If these guys can go, I mean, this is the crux lap. If they go past this time, they're going to be able to make it. And these are the 2 cars that will battle for the lead and the win. Much better turn 1 for Galgan that time. But Strader, oh my goodness, he's so good through the middle of the corner late in the run. Right to the back bumper again. Pressure's on. And we watch now. Do the leaders go another lap? Weaver and Spainhour on pit road now. If that's the case, somebody might very well gamble and try to make it all the way. Do the leaders come to pit road? Off of 3, is there a chess game? They will go another lap, and as such, they should be able to make the end of the race. Matt Hayden will come to pit road. He will cede 3rd position. Modesty will stay out. We got a good one for you here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and it's about to come to its conclusion. Trey Galgan and Christian Strader have shared an incredible battle for the win the past 40 laps of this race. And it's about to come to its conclusive moment. We imagine these 2 leaders will come to pit road this time by with 15 laps to go for their final pit service of the night. Oh, big wiggle from Galgan on entry. Strader drives to his back bumper. Do they both come to pit road? Yes, they will. Don't get a penalty. Oh, Strader wrecks the car. Christian Strader pounds the inside wall, getting onto pit road, and that will end the hopes at the win. Oh, my goodness. And now the question will be, is Modesty's on pit road as well? Did Galgan get in and get it down to speed? And where does Matt Hayden cycle out in all this? Hayden's only just now in turn 3. Galgan's off the jack and rolling. Where's Matt Hayden? Coming down the front stretch. He is not going to get there. He will get past Strader, but that's as close as he will get a 6-second gap. Cody Eldred, imagine, would pit here this time. So a costly mistake on pit road is likely going to mark the end of the night for Christian Schrader in terms of the hopes for the win. And now with 12 to go, Galgan can cruise. Galgan will bypass Eldred as he pits. And the pit cycle is complete with 13 laps to go. Now I will preface, still not 100% sure how good these guys are on gas. They made 14 laps on the opening run of the race. That also included a get-up-to-speed lap that they don't really have on a green flag pit stop where you are full go. We'll see. It's going to be awfully close. 12 laps to go for Trey Galgan. The question starts to become, did the crew get enough fuel in the car? Did they put enough in? Am I good to the end? I need to save any. 11 laps to go. Christian Schrader running his best laps of the race right now. The problem is, I don't think he's going to have enough time. He's a second faster than the leader. He's just not going to have enough time. Actually, he might. Hayden might have enough time as well. Galgan's running extraordinarily slow right now. Let's see what this time by is. Galgan has noticeably backed up the pace. 53.67. Hayden, 53.22. And an 06 for Schrader. 6/10. Man, he may get close if this pace continues. Hayden might get close. This race is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy, hang on just a minute as Galgan is way back the pace down. Holy cow. Look at the splits over there on the left side of your screen. Matt Hayden has closed this gap from 6.5 seconds down to just over 4. And Galgan is noticeably running slower. He picked it up a little bit that time by. Past the line, 54.17 Hayden. goes 53.31. Schrader 53.17. And they're going to get there if this pace continues. Hayden's driving the wheels off it right now, trying to get there. The rate that we're going right now, Matt Hayden would have to gain about 0.4 of a second per lap for the next 9 laps, and that's just to get to him. He's still on a good pace right now, and so too is Schrader. Let's see how turn 3 goes for these guys. He's on a good enough pace to maybe do it right now. It's close. 8 laps to go at the line. Galgan goes 54.05, so he picked it up a bit. Hayden goes 53.42. That's still good enough to get him there. Schrader goes 53.28. That may be enough to get him there. What in the world is going on with Trey Galgan right now? 3.3 seconds. Is he just managing his stuff, perhaps? Could very well be. He's just completely managing at this point, knowing that the gap is 3.3 seconds. He's got a lot of room to give and just is kind of letting those guys hang. And now I think he just realized, because I think he's hit the go button again. Now he starts to drive away. He did put a scare into me for a second that right there he was going to... Oh, yeah, he picked it up a lot right there. 53.45. And he's faster on the racetrack again there. That time by with 7 to go. So, management for a second for Galgan. And now he will go into go mode once again. He'll hit the go button. And now Galgan starts to once again check out. So scare for a moment, but saving perhaps was Galgan. And now he begins to cruise to a victory. 6 laps to go at Pocono. Well, I don't know. Backed off the pace again there in 1. Still fast on the speedway, but that turn 1 was really slow again. So you have to save some more fuel. I think the answer is a resounding no. As he comes off turn 3, now it's just a formality of making it back around. 5 more laps around the Pocono Raceway. And we will decide ourselves a winner. Christian Schrader's going to be kicking himself that he did not win this race, because I think he would have had the car to beat Trey Galgan if this race had gone how it was, as Schrader does not make the mistake on pit road, which in a way is poetic. Remember back to season 1, the championship race, Schrader had an argument that he should have won over Tyler Bentley that day, but made a couple mistakes on pit road and cost himself the victory. Tonight, the struggles return on pit road, and it's going to cost him a victory. 4 laps to go at Pocono. Galgan by 3.8 seconds over Hayden and Schrader, who now start to engage in a battle for second. He's going to be the longest 3 laps of the night for Trey Galgan. Get to the white flag. Watch the battle for second for now. Again, Galgan is the leader. And he's just trying to make it back to the white flag. Again, we'll keep an eye on this till the white flag lap to see if Schrader gets there and catches Matt Hayden. And I think he's going to. 3 laps to go as Galgan ticks by the start-finish line. The battle we'll watch for the next lap and a half is Schrader and Hayden for the second spot. Schrader really good through the middle of the corner. He's able to arc it out further on exit, and now we'll try to catch Matt Hayden in turn 2. Schrader at least trying to recover to where he would have been. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from Hayden, and Schrader's underneath for second as Galgan ticks by 2 laps to go. Here comes Schrader for second. Through 1 and 2. Hayden higher, maybe a little too high. Schrader trying to drive through on the bottom. Not going to be able to slide up. They're going to be too wide down towards the tunnel turn. To the fence goes the 29. Oh, he may get to his right rear here off 3. Cross to the bottom. Big move by Schrader as Trey Galgan sees the white flag. He'll slide in behind, but we'll go back up front. When you miss a week, the best thing you can do is go to victory lane the next week and make up for the points you lost. And tonight, in dominant and confident fashion, Trey Galgan's going to do just that. He had some challenges in the mid-stages, got stuck in traffic, had to battle with Christian Schrader, had to sweat out about 40 laps of this one, but is now able to cruise. And as he rounds this wide turn 3 for the final time, he's going to put his name back in the championship fight. Off turn 3 and down the front stretch, Trey Galgan, dominant tonight in Pocono. He wins round 7 of the OP Racing Throwback Series. He missed last week. At IRP, he told us he would miss it 2 weeks ago. He came back tonight looking to give himself a jolt in this season, give himself a bit of a burst of energy, some momentum to come back on. And this is exactly how you do it. He'll complete his cool-down lap. He'll come around turn 3. And if he has enough gas, let's see if he can do a burnout. Will he have enough gas? Yes, he will. Oh, man. Shades of Kyle Larson tonight in Pocono. He will finish his celebration right on the start-finish line. And that will take us into our post-race show. From Pocono, Trey Galgan misses a week, comes back better than ever, and wins tonight in Pocono. It's Christian Schrader finishing in the second spot. And Matt Hayden on the final step of the podium tonight. Rusty Modesty finishes fourth. Good run for him. Cody Eldred in fifth. Chris Weaver sixth. Kevin Gunther in seventh. And Brian Elmore in eighth. Isaiah Debris finishes ninth tonight. TJ Spainhour in 10th. Jordan Anderson 11th. Davey Weaver in 12th. And Doug Johnson back in 13th. We're going to go get your top three for some post-race interviews. Stay with us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be right back with your top three. Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway. As we get into our post-race show now, our top three interviews. We'll start with the man who finished third tonight, the number 6 of Matt Hayden. A solid night for him. Started on the pole and finished third. We'll see what he's got to say about it. Hey, Matt, it's Dawson in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Dawson. How you doing?
Well, not too bad. Well, a solid night for you, starting up on the pole position. Got out to an early lead and a third-place finish for you. Obviously, Christian and Trey drive away there in the middle stages of that race. Is there anything you could have done to attack them differently? Tell us what you saw in the late stages of tonight's race from Pocono.
Yeah, I probably had the pace early on, and then just kept making mistakes and hitting the wall and getting my car all bent up, and then that section they got hooked up, and I noticed that we were holding the same distance all the way in the track, but they were nose to tail going down the straight, and they'd gain a tenth every lap just by being nose to tail, and I wasn't in the draft with anybody. So, I don't know. We could have just probably just run a cleaner race and had a better shot at it, but didn't happen, and Trey whipped our butts.
Well, regardless of third place finish or another good points night, obviously a few guys not having great nights and a few championship contenders obviously absent in tonight's race. So another third place finish. These points start to rack up over the course of this season. About halfway through, sitting pretty well in points. What's the game plan here for the second half for the 6 car?
Yeah, just kind of nights like this, just trying to minimize mistakes. That's plagued me not only here but in every series it seems like I'm running right now. I just gotta focus up and just be consistent. I felt like we had a fast car, and I think middle part of this run just got frustrated not being up front and overdrove a little bit and just had to settle back in. So it's just kind of mentality for the rest of the season is just to kind of focus up and just run my pace, and it'll all work out.
Well, absolutely. Well, it's another podium finish for you tonight, a third-place run tonight in Pocono. So before we let you go and enjoy it and celebrate, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Everybody, Misfit Motorsports, shout out to Rusty for a crossover and then driving us up into the wall. I appreciate that, Rusty. I want to thank Jimmy's wife, Lindsay Fitzmaurice, for always getting us dialed in. Appreciate her. And the Girls Car Wash, go donate $10 to a good cause. I'll post a link in the Discord for everybody to donate to get their virtual cars washed, because I'm not driving up there to New York. So appreciate everybody out there. Dawson, as usual, thank you, sir.
Well, absolutely. Thank you for talking to me for a second. Congratulations on the third-place finish. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate, and we will talk to you next week.
Thanks, sir.
Matt Hayden in the 6 car finishes in the third position tonight. I'll move us to the man on the second step of the podium, and admittedly the guy I thought had the pace to win the race. I thought he had the car to win, and makes a mistake late on pit road. We'll get his opinion on that and his night as a whole. The second place finisher, Christian Schrader. Hey, Christian, it's Dawson in the booth. You got a copy?
Dawson, how you doing?
Well, not too bad. Well, I imagine you knew I was going to ask about this. Last pit stop of the race, you come in right on the back bumper of Trey, and the car spins out. First off, what happened? And second off, how do you come back from that? You still finished second. You salvaged something out of the night, but what happened and how did you come back from it?
I just tried to close a little bit too much gap and was going to speed, tried to stab the brakes, locked them up, and it went around. Coming back from it, just went out, said, don't really have much else to lose. We'll just turn them as fast as we can until tires go away, and hopefully they stick around. So I think that kind of helped out a little bit because Matt and Trey both probably still had a little bit of mind of conserving some tires. So being able to run as hard as you want kind of makes up for a little bit of difference there. But Pocono always seems to get me on pit road.
I did mention it, the season 1 championship race, where again a mistake on pit road kind of plagued you towards the end of that one. But tonight, second place for you again, and it feels like, and I think this kind of goes into why you were the defending champion. It felt like at the beginning of the race, maybe not quite enough pace to contend with Trey. Middle stage of the race, though, all of a sudden, pick up a bunch of speed. Trey's on the ropes. You had him where you wanted him. What goes into that? I mean, 40 laps difference. You were 4 seconds back, and then you were right on his bumper about lap 50. What goes into that learning process throughout the course of a race?
Well, for one, I kind of like to start and take things a little bit easy. You don't want to be in a wreck early in the race, and you're kind of just trying to stick around a little bit, pick up a little bit from like what your competitor's doing. So watching Trey get into the corner, seeing where like maybe I can gain a little bit of time, where I'm losing time, and then just being able to see it and visualize where you're a little bit worse, kind of helps out because you can try to start working on the areas and fine tune things.
Works for you tonight to the tune of a second place finish, back in championship form once again, and it pays off for you tonight in the form of a runner-up finish. So before we let you go, enjoy it and celebrate. Is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Just a big shout out to, of course, you for doing the broadcast, and Alex and everybody putting it on, and TJ and Hunter. They kind of keep me sane during the race every once in a while. Still spin out and pit road, and they kind of keep me a little bit focused on what's going on.
Well, a good run for you tonight, a second place finish. So go enjoy it, go celebrate. Congratulations on it, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it. Sounds good.
Christian Schrader in the 29, the second place finisher in tonight's race. It leads us to the man of the hour, the man who, well, as so eloquently put by Matt Hayden, whooped their butts tonight. Trey Galgan in the 49 is your winner from Pocono. We'll see what he's got to say about it. Hey, Trey, it's Dawson in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, this was a fun one tonight. Looked for a little bit like you were going to kind of just cruise through tonight's race, but in the middle stages, a big challenge from Christian Schrader. Take me through the battle with Christian through the majority of this race, all the way into the last pit stop.
Yeah, it was going to be a good hard battle once he got to my back bumper, and we just raced clean, which I respect that, and it was going to be a battle of who was out in the lead. So we had to race hard there early on because obviously the lead was important tonight, and yeah, that was basically the key. And then he unfortunately spun out going on the pit road, and that gave me the opportunity to seal the deal there at the end, because if he didn't spin out, we would have been probably playing the field strategy game there at the end.
Well, absolutely. Well, you missed last week at IRP. Remember 2 weeks ago you said you were not going to be able to make that race, and coming back tonight, obviously it felt like there was no rust after a week off, and it's a big win for you. Kind of take me through. You miss a week. Take me through what it does for your momentum coming back to then win the next week after you miss.
I mean, it's not really going to do anything because next week I'm going to miss next week anyways too, just because of work stuff. But I mean, when you get wins, it boosts up the confidence just a little bit. I mean, just to know that the guys that you're racing around, you can be competitive around and get those couple wins. It does boost that confidence there a little bit.
Works for you tonight, a victory here in Pocono. So before we let you go and celebrate it just a little bit, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Shout out Admin Box, keep digging, and always G3 Graphics, and everyone that makes this thing go around.
Well, congratulations on the victory tonight. Go enjoy it, go celebrate, and we will talk to you in here in a couple weeks' time.
Thank you. Trey
Galgan, the 49, the winner tonight from Pocono Raceway. It's going to just about do it for our coverage. Head over to PGR Esports on YouTube right now. Atlanta in the Xfinity Series. I'm headed over to jump on the microphone with Austin Green and brand new to PGR, Matt Metler. Going to join us on the call tonight. I can't wait. Going to be exciting to have our full three-man crew in the booth for the first time ever. Go join us. Xfinity's at Hotlanta. It's going to be a hot track. Going to be a fun one. And it's going on right now on PGR Esports on YouTube. We're back next Thursday night, I believe, from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Would be our next stop on the schedule. I'll verify that for you real quickly before we head out tonight. And yes, it will be North Wilkesboro Speedway next Thursday night in the Throwback Series as we get you ready for another round. Round 8, almost the halfway point of the season. And boy, what a championship battle we got formulating between several of our top drivers. It's going to do it for me for Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Dawson Wise. You've been watching the OP Racing Throwback Series live on a Thursday night. Until next time.